We've got the amazing Wayne Nurse with us today. Let's find out exactly how he makes a difference to business. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Gary. How you going?
I'm on top of the world, mate.
So am I.
Fantastic. Now, for our viewer right now, tell us exactly what do you do?
Well, we basically provide solutions to businesses, help them grow their business, and basically come in and reinvigorate whatever they've chosen for their life path, basically. We'd like to get in, understand how they do their business, and basically try and look at ways of growing that business, or if it's not growing their business, helping them do the things that they really want to do with that business in terms of whether they want to spend more time with their family and they want to be able to manage the business in a way that allows them to do that. Then they're the things that we'd like to get in and sort of help people generate and be able to achieve with their businesses.
And of course, you've got the added credential and bonus that you're an accountant by profession. For our viewer right now, make that distinction between your accounting practice and, as you say, you help businesses grow. How do you do that?
So, look, I've dealt with, probably 300 or 400 businesses over my time as an accountant, and we like to get involved at the start with the client initially. We like to spend some time with them, getting to know the business, getting to know the staff that are in their business. At that point in time, we're then able to sort of make some assessments as to how they could either grow their business or whether they could look at taking on more staff, whether it's about trying to achieve more working capital to achieve those growth measures. So it comes about in a number of ways. I like to just get in and really understand that client and use that knowledge then to go forward. So it could be, you could be in a retail client where we come in, look at your stock levels, look at how you sell your product, help you understand where your product margins are. Maybe that certain products perform better than others, and you might have too much stock of one or the other. There's sort of the simpler things that we can deal with and help promote and grow the business. But it's when we actually get to have those more meaningful conversations with the client, where we actually delve into the client's life, what they actually truly want from the business and from their own life goals, that we then can actually understand where they want to go. Come about of a number of ways, but like I say, it always has to start with that important client relationship to start with.
When you've been described as a problem solver, what sets you apart?
What sets me apart is I like to look for solutions for businesses, basically, and solve those problems that businesses have, whether it be purely financial, or it could be structural, or it could be something to do with the organic makeup of the business. We really like to get in there and help turn a business around, particularly if it's having some difficulties. A really good example is a client we had that'd come to us about 4 years ago. Just set up, wanted to set up a little spa style business. We're looking to move into the flotation tanks.
Yep.
And we're having some difficulty sourcing some flotation tanks out of China at the time. Didn't know what to do, and they came to us about helping with the overall expansion of their business because they were only at a very early stage. And we basically got them some contacts into America. They were able to actually source a much better product out of America, and ultimately brought these products into Australia. And now, the flotation tanks are now sort of taking off everywhere around the place. So, they were able to get in early enough. We were able to help them get a quality product in to help with their business. And, they went from being a very small service provider to now having 3 operations to run through. So, it's little things like that where it's not necessarily about the numbers. It's more about, as I say, looking at what the client actually needs to achieve and what they want to achieve, and then trying to help them get to those goals, basically.
So that would have been my next question and point, was about the numbers. So you're more than just the numbers. You really want to understand the customer client, where he or she wants to go, how they're going to get there, and your journey together.
Yes, very much so. Look, obviously I am a highly qualified, very experienced chartered tax advisor, and I started my training at one of the biggest accounting firms in the world, Coopers & Lybrand, so I have plenty of corporate experience. But it's how I utilise that experience, and that's really where the value is for the client, is not just doing the numbers. It's about actually learning to take those numbers, learning to take the experience I have seeing companies as large as Rio Tinto down to, you know, a humble corner store, and being able to utilise that experience to help that humble corner store achieve the same goals and desires that a Rio Tinto does have.
So when you speak about the Rio Tinto and then maybe the corner store, who ultimately is your ideal client?
My ideal client would be a small family business, one that possibly employs 5 to 10 people potentially, turns over between $1 to $5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an area where personally I get a great deal of satisfaction in coming in and helping those businesses and helping them grow. But it's important to note that it's not always necessarily about the growth. It's about making that business achieve what the client wants. So if the client wants to have a business where they get to spend more time with their family and not necessarily derive a larger income, but they just want to have more time with their family, then that's the goal we work towards. So it becomes about finding ways for that business to then manage its time better so that the client can then actually do the other things that they'd like to do. So it's important to not just have a numbers focus, but to actually look at some of the intangibles that the client might actually want to have out of that business.
Excellent. If a client's watching this right now and he or she's a startup or in the 100,000 turnover, are you interested in having a discussion with them?
Most definitely, because at the end of the day, these are the people that eventually come into those $1 and $5 million businesses. I have seen plenty of clients who've started off as very, very simple tax returns, grow into owning 3 or 4 franchise businesses. So it's important for me, and I've always valued spending time with the client no matter how big or small they are, and valuing that relationship, because at the end of the day, it's the relationship that's the most important thing for me.
So finally, for our viewer right now, what action should they take if they're excited and keen to have a chat to you?
I'd like to invite you to give us a call so that we can have a chat and see how we may be able to help you in the future.
So if you're watching this video right now and you'd like to access Wayne's Brain, make sure you give him a call. The details are at the bottom of this video, website and phone number. We look forward for Wayne serving you and vice versa. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks for your time.